After years of living in the spotlight, Kristin Cavallari has chosen to close the chapter on her reality TV career, embracing a new phase of life centered on balance, authenticity, and growth outside the camera's glare. On a recent episode of her Let's Be Honest podcast, the 38-year-old star candidly reflected on her evolution from a reality TV personality to a businesswoman and mother determined to prioritize what truly matters. Cavallari, who first captivated audiences on Laguna Beach in the early 2000s before making waves on the hills, explained why she feels very happy about stepping away from television after wrapping her series Honestly Cavallari, the headline tour. Though the show was well received and pushed her creatively, the stress that accompanies constant filming weighed heavily on her. "Being on TV is not part of my normal life anymore," she admitted. "There is a level of stress that comes with being on a TV show. There just is." For Cavallari, the decision isn't rooted in regret but in recognition of growth. "As fun as it was not normal for me anymore," she shared, acknowledging the tension between her past on-screen life and the present she has built for herself. The mom of three reflected on how these shows were pivotal chapters but ones she no longer feels compelled to revisit. Before her latest project, Cavallari starred in Very Cavallari, a show that blended her personal life and the early days of building her jewelry and lifestyle brand Uncommon James. It aired until 2020 and ended around the time of her highly publicized split from ex-husband Jay Cutler. That period, she confessed, brought its own challenges, especially when it came to mixing business and reality TV. While she doesn't regret showing the raw, often unpolished realities of starting a business, the visibility also drew the wrong kind of attention, particularly from potential employees more interested in fame than in contributing meaningfully to the brand. "I never regret showing any of those startup moments on Very Cavallari," Cavallari emphasized, recalling the unexpected encouragement she received from fellow founders and CEOs who resonated with her struggles. Yet, filming a company wasn't always beneficial. "Filming a show about my company really attracted the wrong type of employee," she admitted. "I'm very thankful for the show because it catapulted Uncommon James to the next level, but I'm really happy now that I do not have cameras in the office. Because I have the most incredible team who does not care about being on camera." Reflecting on her recent podcast tour, Cavallari recognized it was a chance to challenge herself, face her fears, and connect deeply with her audience. "I got what I needed from it personally by pushing myself out of my comfort zone and accomplishing my biggest fear in life," she shared. The experience was rewarding, but she sees no need to replicate it. "I think the show and the podcast tour were both so great. And the response to the show was amazing," she said, but added, "I just don't feel like I need to do it again." Part of her hesitation comes from not wanting to risk a sequel that might not live up to the first season's success. "The show was so good. I almost don't want to put pressure on myself to have another really good season," she explained, acknowledging that much of what made the show compelling was natural drama that can't always be planned. Now, Cavallari finds herself more content than ever, focused on her podcast and growing Uncommon James. "I had so much fun. I love the show, but I just don't think it's something I want to do again," she admitted, her voice tinged with relief and certainty. "My work-life balance is so good that I don't think I want to rock the boat again." Discussing this publicly, she says, feels like finalizing the decision, even if part of her still wonders what the future might bring. "In a lot of ways, putting this out into the universe is finalizing that decision," she reflected. "But maybe subconsciously this is kind of what I want to do. I just don't even want to do it again." For Cavallari, the shift isn't about turning her back on what made her famous but rather about moving forward authentically. She acknowledges the role reality TV played in shaping her career and business, but she no longer sees it as part of her identity. Instead, she chooses to invest her energy in projects and people that feel genuine, away from scripted conflict and staged moments. "I'm really happy having this podcast and my company, Uncommon James, and that's kind of it," she concluded. After years of cameras capturing nearly every detail of her life, Kristin Cavallari has found something far more valuable: peace, perspective, and the freedom to choose what comes next, on her own terms.